another episode of Bet GPT. This is episode 83, and it is 5:03 p.m. on June 19th, otherwise known as Juneteenth. So yes, we are working a holiday today. You're welcome, making the sacrifice. So Slade, thank you, and also I want to thank you. This is cutting close to NBA Finals territory, and I know you are really looking forward to the game tonight. So thank you for making the time to hop on.
They play tonight?
They do. It's game 6 of the finals,
okay.
baby.
I've been listening to my Bill Simmons, so I feel like I've watched, but I haven't watched the games. I just like to hear people talk about it, kind of like that's what our fans do.
Well, I think you were not in the minority there because the TV ratings came out, and I believe Game 5 had around 9 million viewers, which was the lowest since the COVID year 2020. And comparably, Caitlin Clark played a random game a couple days ago that had 2.9 million viewers. So things are not looking good for the NBA.
Well, as long as they have Brady Ellingson, they're okay.
Brady has it on all 4 of his TVs in his house just to respect the TV ratings.
Just to boost the ratings. How does that work? Like if you have a bar and the bar has like 10 TVs and you have 200 people in there, like how do they measure that?
I think it's just off per household, per address, maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. It could all be made up for all we know.
Yeah, the older we get, the more we realize any sort of data that's surveyed like that is usually not very accurate.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I do want to point out, this is my first podcast sipping an adult beverage. I made myself a little blue Hawaiian drink. So maybe this should be our thing on holidays. I should have told you to pour yourself a little something, or all our holiday specials.
You know what's funny is I went to the liquor store today, and it was closed.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah,
I feel like everything's open today.
Yeah, I know. It's like I know people working today like it's a normal day, and I can't even go to an ABC.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair.
It's all right.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know. What sport do you want to talk about first? Slade asked me, we were planning out our show like we normally do, and I told him I'm going to hand him the reins today. So honestly, I have dinner in 30 minutes. It's going to be a shorter pod, so whatever you want to talk about, I'm fully prepared. And I know I like to hate on the NBA. I know enough about that. I know enough about the draft. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that later. Obviously, MLB. All-Star.
Where's Kevin Durant going? Because we don't care about the actual games. Let's talk about the summer. That's what people care about. We know Giannis is leaving. I know it's minus 500, but for the sake of the pod, he's leaving. He's minus 500 stay in Milwaukee. Where's Kevin Durant going?
Kevin Durant will be a Minnesota Timberwolf, for all that I know.
What are those still plus 160?
I believe so. KD has said that he is, and I'm pulling up the DraftKings odds right now. KD has said that he is against going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know why that would be the case because they are a team that's made at least they made the conference finals last year, and then has it been 2 years in a row they made the conference finals? I don't know. But they are a good team. I believe they're looking to get rid of Rudy Gobert. So because of that, they were the favorites as of last week. But then KD came out and said, hey, I am not interested in this. It looks like the markets are down right now. So
I have it up.
You have it up. What is it?
It's Rockets plus 250, T-Wolves plus 350, tied with the Heat, and then the Raptors and Spurs behind them 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then a huge drop off. And then it's like him staying with Phoenix. But yeah, he was plus 160, plus 350. So they were plus 160. Now they're plus 350, and the Rockets moved up to the favorite. So
Well, it's not about what he wants, right? He's saying he doesn't want to go there, but if they have the best deal, like why should the Suns care? Just ship
The
him out.
Suns don't care, but the team he's trading them to might care because he only has 1 year left, right? So they might be like,
1 year left on his deal or 1 year left in his career. Is it the same thing? Who cares? They're not going to extend him to a 4 year
well, that's the
deal.
thing is whoever team trades for him thinks they're going to extend him another 2 years. So they're going to overpay an already 38, whatever year old KD till he's 40. I don't even think it's a good idea for whatever team does it. I mean, if you're getting rid of Gobert, whatever.
That's fine. I totally get that. I'm just hearing if it's KD to Minnesota, that means Naz Reid's going in a sign and trade to Brooklyn, and then Rudy Gobert and Dante DiVincenzo would be going to Phoenix.
All I know is KD seems like a guy who cares about his bread, and I don't think it's a coincidence the teams he's okay with going to are all in Texas or Florida, where he won't have to pay state income taxes.
Yeah, I mean Minnesota has to agree with that. I don't know who Miami's given up. Like, are you
Hero and a bunch of crap? So I don't even see how that's possible. Eliminate them. Raptors.
I wouldn't give up Tyler Hero for him personally, but Tyler Hero also said that he doesn't believe in history before 1950. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No, he probably doesn't believe in the Holocaust, which
and you see someone
totally wrong.
Someone replied and said Pat Riley was probably born in the era that he doesn't think exists.
Tough scene. What pick do the Bulls have?
Like 14th or 12th.
Pick 12.
Yeah,
pick 12. So right now on Tankathon, which is honestly not very credible, but Derek Queen, center out of Maryland, is mocked there. Just real quick, if you want to give me a second, like number 1, Cooper Flag, that's like minus 10,000. 2, Dylan Harper, same thing, shooting guard out of Rutgers. I'm going to the Spurs. Things could get a little wonky, right? If Spurs go after Giannis. I don't think they do after KD. I think there's rumors that the Jazz are looking to offload Lauri Markkanen. I don't think they would do that for the second pick, but I could definitely see that happening later in the draft. VJ Edgecombe out of Baylor going 3. So Ace Bailey was 3rd. He basically did not want to work out for any teams other than the Sixers, but then by doing that, I think like the Sixers ended up not being interested in him. So now like he's looking at all the way in like the 5, 6, 7 range, which is Jazz, Wizards, and Pelicans, which kind of leaves like we don't really know what's going to happen. I think 3 is going to be Edgecombe, but 4 through 10, like we have no idea. So I think that's if you are betting the draft, I think that's something that that range is what you need to start looking at.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten on some bets like during March Madness because it can nipple or whatever. We should have bet his under for wherever he was going to be picked at the time. It just seems like he might be like a top 5 guy now.
Yeah, I agree. I think his over under is 5.5. I would lean towards under, and Vegas refund. If anyone follows him on Twitter, he gave out Jeremiah Fears under 7.5 and Kayman Maluk, however you say his name, from Duke. I believe his under was 9.5 or 8.5. Yeah. So both those have been steamed under because of things he's given out. Yeah. So
both those guys were guys the Bulls like writers were talking about like a month ago, and now it's like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I do know for a fact, friend of the program, Will Hill is on Asa Newell, the power forward from Georgia, top 10 at 9-1. You can get 15-1 some places. I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. All it takes is one team. So I'm not really sure though. I think like my draft, if you look at my mock draft website and my betting spreadsheets, like you'll notice one thing is like my bets I make super early, I win. The bets I make leading up, chasing steam, all lose. And then the bets I make like within the 36 hours prior to the draft win. So I've only made a few bets here and there. Like I bet Ace Bailey to go 6, that like plus 750, that's down to plus 240. So, CLV there. But I'm really just waiting because like last year, When I hit the Hornets pick 8-1 because of Kristen Peak of Yahoo Sports, or she was at Yahoo Sports, tweeted out like someone's gonna know something the day of the draft. There's gonna be promises made. These promises in the NBA, like I can't imagine that happening in like the NFL. It's just like kind of different. But with the NBA, they're weird like that. So I would just definitely like Slade. I know you have 30 PTO days. You should just take a day off on draft day and monitor.
I should honestly. I could. It'd probably make me money if I did it.
Honestly, I mean, you're still getting paid for your. You're still getting paid
Counts
for your
as an office day. Counts
dip.
as an office day too. So I don't have to go in as much.
Yeah.
Shifting gears.
Mm-hmm.
Why should our listeners just put everything they own on PCA plus 850 MVP?
Wasn't he 16-1 yesterday?
He was, and I may have added more to my my portfolio.
Okay, looking at the National League, Ohtani minus 600, PCA plus 850. Who else can win? Corbin Carroll 25-1. They have to win the division. I think they're not going to give it to a third place team. Alonso 35, Juan Soto 40, no. Tatis 40, no. Not Tucker, Freeman, Lindor, Schwarber. James Wood has been great, but the Nationals aren't good enough. I like Ketel Marte 80-1, honestly, for value, but once again, they have to win the division. He was injured, missed a lot of games. I really do think it's down to Ohtani and PCA, and if Ohtani gets hurt, that's going to shorten a lot.
It's crazy because Ohtani could get hurt and PCA could come back down to earth. But, I mean, he's already banked 20 homers, 20 steals, and a gold glove, basically. So, knock on wood, as long as everybody in this race stays healthy, I think it is a two-man race. The wild card is Ohtani's pitching. He went one inning and gave up one run. But his price went down after that performance, or like it got even like shorter after that performance because he threw 100. So everyone was freaking out like, oh, his stuff is good. He may not have gotten the results, but his stuff is good. I don't care. He's going to probably get hurt again. He had one inning. What does that actually mean in terms of value? When is the next time he's even going to pitch? Like, I don't buy into the value aspect. Is he going to start closing games? That's my question. Is he going to be a closer? Because he's not going to start.
Well, he's clearly not in good enough form to be a closer anyway. They're not going to put him in a high leverage situation. I think where the value is may not even be the regular season anymore. It might be in the playoffs. You get to like an extra inning playoff game and you have one extra pitcher that can go one inning. Like, yeah, you can totally make that argument to me. But with how he is now, like, I don't imagine him pitching like 6 innings until next year, right? I don't think there's any reason to maybe stretch him. I guess they could potentially do it if they have even more injuries because, they've had so many people go down, honestly. I'm not even sure the Dodgers are going to win that division because the Giants just traded for Devers. I mean, do you think that was a smart move by the Giants? I personally think it was great.
For the Giants, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as lopsided as people think because the Giants did take on every single dollar of that contract. So,
but they've been looking for free agents, so we know they want to spend.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, this is probably the path they had to take to get a star because we know they have not been able to get anybody in free agency.
Well, John Heyman tweeted that the Giants got Aaron Judge. So did that end up happening?
Arson Judge, yeah.
Yeah.
The awards market hasn't been super fun, I feel like, this year because Aaron Judge running away with the AL, and the AL is just like there's no value on the board other than like maybe Jose Ramirez at 100-1, and you hope for a Judge injury, but that's really all I see. Bobby Witt has been a step down from last year, and I don't trust Cal Raleigh I still don't trust his glove really either. At 25-1. NL, it seems like it's 2 guys. Cy Young, still don't really see anything there. The only thing I could still see is like maybe there's still value on like Skubal minus 250, which is crazy. But
so I was listening to a numbers game a couple days ago, podcast on VSiN, and Gil Alexander, the host, often talks about Tom Tangos, which we've talked about, his Cy Young predictor. He's predicted 33 of the last 38. So the past 19 years he's been doing it. His formula is inning pitch divided by 2 minus earned runs plus innings pitch divided by 2 minus. Wait, that's not right. I'll try to get that formula. That was weird. I'm trying to get the formula, but basically it takes into account wins, strikeouts, earned runs, a couple other smaller things, and he's not predicting like, oh, this is like the best pitcher based on this. He's predicting, oh, this is what the voters value, right? And he actually had a lot of value. His number one pitcher this year in the AL was Max Fried, who's still at 9-1. And he had Skubal third, actually, also behind Hunter Brown, who's also
Hunter Brown has had a good year. I just don't know if people trust him to do it for 30 starts.
That's the thing. I mean, Skubal just pitched this afternoon, went 5 2/3, gave up a couple runs, so just like a solid start. And like I feel like that's like a bad start for him. Whereas Hunter Brown and Fried, like there's going to be a game where Fried gives up like 700 runs. I feel like, and I just don't think that's going to be the case for Skubal.
Skubal is so good. When I watched him face the Cubs when they were red hot and he shut them down, I was like, oh, okay. He's on a different level. It's him and Skeens that feels like on a different level. These other guys are performing, but this seems like it's sustainable and it's real. And he's on the team with like the best record in the American League, which I can't imagine hurting his odds. If you're looking for something that's like longer to play, I still think it's going to be in the Rookie of the Year markets. I don't know who it is, but I don't believe Jacob Wilson should be minus 1,000.
Why? Have you seen his stats? He's batting like 330.
He doesn't slug enough.
That's true.
There's a lot of names. So that's what makes it hard, and it's like I don't know. I mean, you could probably narrow it down to like the top 6 guys.
Well, okay, so Jack Caglioni's second at 18-1. Roman Anthony 26-1. Jack Caglioni hit his first home run today. I feel like him being second favorite makes sense to me. Roman Anthony obviously was the number one prospect in baseball, but he only has like 4 hits the past week. And he was on my fantasy team.
He started like 2-17 or something like that.
Yeah. Jason Dominguez, that's an automatic no for me. I'm not messing with that. Christian Campbell's down to 61. He just got sent down to AAA today for the Red Sox.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
I bet on him heavy in the offs. I fell into that hype. I regret that.
Yeah. Chandler Simpson for the Rays can't hit, but he's 120-1. This is going to make me so sad. So before the season, Slade and I were looking into Chandler Simpson because he's just like the fastest dude in all the MLB. We wanted to bet stolen base leader. It wasn't available, so we decided to bet Rookie of the Year instead. Oh, he only has 19 stolen bases. Probably because he can't get on base. Oh, he's batting 285. No slug, though. But Jose Cabello, 27 stolen bases for the Rays. That's kind of a sneaky team, the Rays, that could, make the AL wild card. Let's look at the standings here.
I was feeling I think last pod I mentioned Will Warren and how I got him 100-1, and he's down to 40-1, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was at like 10-1 last pod, and then he went. I think the next pod after that pod, or the next start after that pod, he gave up 7 in 1 inning to the Dodgers and just totally blew it. So I don't. It's going to take him some starts to earn his goodwill back.
If you look at Paul Skeens' Rookie of the Year numbers last year, like he never had any of those 7 runs. I think he had like a 4, maybe a 5, and they were all like 2-2-2-0, whatever. I'd have to look at Luis Gil, but that gives me way too much pain.
Yeah, you might be right about the AL Rookie of the Year. The more I look at some of these guys, I really like Marcelo Meyer, but he did get called up in June.
Well, that's the thing. Jacob Wilson has so many more at bats, and he just keeps hitting. So someone else is going to have to prove they can actually do something in the long term, because everyone else has been so hit or miss. And like, I wish it for the sake of the Cubs, I don't hope it's Cam Smith. For the sake of my pocket, Cam Smith for Houston. He's basically the only guy that's been also pulled up since day one. He just hasn't been consistent enough. What about in the NL?
Did you know if that rule, how it was like if you debuted on the major league team and you played the whole year and you win the rookie of the year, you get an extra year of service time, and then the team that did that gets a pick. Well, Matt Shaw went down for those like 3 weeks. He's going to miss the cutoff for that extra year of service time. So the Cubs got an extra year of Matt Shaw, even if he wins rookie of the year. But there's like I think there's like something where like if he finishes like top 3, or no, it's like if he finishes like top 2 or something, he can like lose the year or get the year back, but the Cubs don't get the pick because he was down too long. So they could get double screwed. So maybe we root for him to finish like 4th.
I would rather him just win. Honestly,
well, I'd rather him perform in the playoffs. I mean, that's what matters, I guess.
That's true. I've been very impressed with him at third base. There's been a big improvement there. There's been a play every other day that Morel would not make. And I haven't heard one good thing about Morel for the Rays this year. Have you? I feel like he's just gone.
He had one big hit in their like 8-0 comeback. But, I mean, when you're down 8-0 and you're playing the Orioles, everybody's eating. So,
yeah. Well, the National League side, Drake Baldwin for the Braves plus 350. He's not even their everyday catcher, is he? He splits time with Murphy. Hey, so
he definitely didn't start on the team.
I don't know. Augustin Ramirez 4-1 for the Marlins. Jacob Misiorowski for the Brewers. Obviously, their top pitching prospect who had a nice outing the other day. Ben Kasparis, I don't even know who that is. Isaac Collins, and then Shaw 13-1. So Shaw down to 13-1. He was around 8-1 a few days ago. Yeah, I don't know. Dylan Cruz 50-1. What a disappointment, man. He should be a lot better.
Yeah, he started the year as what, number 1 or number 2? Number 2, I guess, behind Yamamoto. Isn't it crazy the odds to start the year to what they are now, and it's only been 2.5 months?
Yeah, things change fast. What draft year was Skeens and Cruz in?
2023. Yeah, 2023.
Well, this is 2020. Oh yeah, 2024. Number 1 is Travis Bazzana for the Guardians. He'll be pulled up. Chase Burns, the top pitcher from Wake Forest. We'll be seeing him soon. Oh, and actually, Nick Kurtz went 4th for the A's. He's around 40-1. That's the Caglione draft too. Christian Moore for the Angels. That's another guy who's possible, and Cam Smith in that draft too. So let me go to the year prior here, if I can find it. Oh, 2022 is Jackson Holiday going first. He's been a disappointment too.
Yeah, he's in year 2, and it still doesn't. I mean, I know he's young, but it just hasn't. That whole team's a disappointment.
Yeah.
All 26.
So here's the 2023 draft. Skeens went first, Dylan Cruz second, Max Clark third. Wyatt Langford 4th. I had so much Cruz, Clark, and Langford to go 1. That was a bad.
That was a fun draft. That draft was fun. And you know what other one was fun? Was the one with Andrew Jones' son.
Oh yes,
Drew Jones.
What year was that?
That might have been Jackson Holiday's. Because he kind of came out of nowhere and took it from Drew, and then Drew got drafted like 2 or 3 and got hurt. I think he's with the D-backs.
Yeah, he's with the D-backs. Yeah, so he went 2nd overall, so he should be coming up in the next year. But yeah, this draft was very interesting. This was Matt Shaw went 13th this draft. So yeah, great value. I mean, there's not really anyone after him as of right now. I'd be interested in getting. So he was one of the 2nd or 3rd. Oh, I guess. Oh, Langford went 4th. Langford, honestly, is probably going to be the best hitter out of anyone in this class, unless Dylan Cruz steps up. I don't know. Stuff like that doesn't surprise me. Like Max Clark went 3rd, the high school kid.
Mm-hmm.
But like a proven hitter like Langford, I don't know. I guess you could say the same about Cruz. Very interesting. I know we have the MLB draft coming up this year. I feel like we don't ever really hear about until like a couple weeks before. At
Yeah,
least I don't.
I haven't.
But
I think it depends on the class too, because you have some years
yeah,
where you get these kids whose dads we all know, and then
yeah,
it gets a lot more buzz. And then like last year's, I don't think had that much because I mean, no offense to Bizana, but like that's a little different than like a Hall of Famer's son or a really good player's son going number one.
yeah. So Ethan Holiday's in the draft this
He
year.
is,
He's
yeah.
projected to go top 5. He's a third baseman out of an Oklahoma high school. Everyone else, it looks like there's a lot of SEC pitchers. There's 2 guys going 9 and 10. Seth Hernandez, right-handed pitcher, and Billy Carlson, shortstop. They both go to the same high school, Corona, California. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I would. What's your take on? Obviously, you're a Cubs fan. What do we think? What do you think is the best way to bet the Cubs? Because I was looking at um, league winner exactas, so looking at the National League as a whole, or Dodgers plus 125, Mets plus 480, Phillies 6-1, Cubs 650. But if you go to league winner exactas, Cubs to beat the D-backs 140-1 to go to the World Series. Cubs over the Dodgers 15-1, Cubs over Mets 40-1, and also 40-1 over Phillies, 85-1 over the Padres. Do you think they can actually win the NL, or
I think they can win.
is there a better
I
way to
think they
bet
can. I think
them?
they can win the National League. I got them at 15-1 very early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I still, I mean, I don't even know what it is now. It's probably like
It's
maybe
plus
half that.
650.
But yeah, so half that, a little less. I don't know if I'd want to do exactas just because you could lose it before the playoffs even start, just based off
Yeah,
seeding.
the draw. Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of have to, if you're going to do an exacta, you kind of have to forecast how you think the seeding is going to finish. Like, I think somewhere, I think it might be DraftKings. You can project seeds. So you can like bet who you think is going to be the 6th seed in like each league. I I think I would probably, if you can, I would try to bet the Cubs to be like the 2nd or the 3rd seed. I don't even know what the
Yeah,
odds
I
would
don't.
be.
I don't think they'll be 1. I think the Mets or the Dodgers will just get pretty hot. Um,
They're going to
I
win
don't
their
know though. I
division,
mean,
I guess. There's no value in betting them for the division anymore.
the Dodgers are up 4 in the division now. It was just 1 last week. 4 over the Giants, 6 over the Padres, 8.5 over the D-backs. Cubs 5.5 on the Brewers, and then Mets and Phillies are 1 game apart.
Yeah,
So
I think they could get the 2 seed. Honestly, if the Mets and the Phillies and the Dodgers and the Giants and the Padres, they all start beating each other up, you could just kind of stay steady, win your low 90s, and you're probably sitting at the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And then in the first round, you're playing who?
So the 2 seed would have a bye, right? So
Yeah.
the 6 and the 3 would play, and then the 4 and the 5 would play. The winner that would play the 2. So the 4 and the 5 right now would be 2 wild card teams, right? So the lowest wild card team right now would be one wild card team would be it'd be the winner of the Phillies and then the Giants, probably Phillies or Giants, or Phillies, Giants, Padres, one of those two. And then the winner would play the Mets or Dodgers potentially.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm getting at is being the 2 seed versus the 3 seed is really important.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So if you're bullish on them, maybe you bet them to try to be a top 2 seed. I don't know. I don't really see a ton of value on the board in terms of those type of things. I don't know if you saw Will Hill said 12-1 on the Orioles to make the AL playoffs. I don't know if I'll follow him there. They blew another lead immediately after he said that, I think. So I don't even know what it is now. The AL race seems a little more jumbled at just all over. Whereas like the NL seems like it's got 2 or 3 teams that are going to make it, and then the rest is maybe a little mixed. But or maybe even there's like 4 teams that I feel pretty confident saying the NL are going to make it.
Yeah. I think if I was going to bet the Orioles, you can bet them exactly 6 seed at 34 to 1.
Because they're not going to win that division, obviously.
Yeah.
The Yankees.
Yeah. Interesting. You can also bet a first round bye. Cubs are plus 130. Do you think there'd be a top 2?
Yeah, something that's probably what I would do is bet them to be a top 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to bet them to win the National League, I don't think those odds are going to go lower. Like, I think you'd be, even if they finish as the 1 seed, what are those odds going to be?
4 to 1.
Yeah, so like I don't think you have much to gain by rushing at that price.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think it's going to stay pretty static no matter what. The Dodgers are going to be some sort of favorite to win, even if they're a wild card team. They're still going to be the favorite to win.
Watch us say this, and then the Cubs go and get Chris
extent.
Sale at the deadline, and suddenly their odds are like, and Ohtani gets hurt or something.
Dude, Chris Sale looks great. And also John Heyman today just tweeted like 2 hours ago, "Don't at me. Chris Sale's a Hall of Famer." And the top comment was, "Don't at me. Justin Verlander's a Hall of Famer." Like, nobody's fighting back on that.
Yeah, like he won the Cy Young last year. Like I don't. You're not making a hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. People can't help themselves.
Yeah, I mean, all
right, I got 5 more minutes. What else? What else do you want to talk about?
I have nothing WNBA related to say. I have nothing.
I have nothing. WNBA tonight. I have an irresponsible. Think of an irresponsible number and double it. That's how much I have on the Fever to win at least 1/2 tonight. It's a lot of money. So I'm hoping they can beat the Valkyries. I will be tuned in. I don't even care about the NBA Finals Game 6 tonight. I am watching on Amazon Prime. I'm watching the Fever Valkyrie.
Dude, as Brady would say, man, being on the Eastern time zone is hard. This game doesn't start till 10 p.m.
That you got to grind, man. You don't have anything golf. Scotty Scheffler, 9
I was just saying he's
first round leader.
He's kicking butt. I don't have much on it. No, I was gonna say I'm already mentally on college football bets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to give anything out besides the obvious Iowa over. But whenever we do that pod, probably early August, maybe. If something I think is gonna move, I'll mention it or tweet it. But I'm already locked into my college football projections, trying to find some early stray lines that don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
There's already been some big injuries too. Oregon lost its best wide receiver.
Saw that.
So Big Ten implications. Everyone's throwing out their dark horses. So I'm sure I'll have a lot of, of talking Nebraska every year. We have to mention Nebraska as a dark horse. So,
I'm looking forward to college football season just because I know we're going to have our 6-pack up and running. And there's just not a lot of things to bet on right now. I mean, I'd love to tell you guys we have a huge edge on the WNBA game, but we don't. I mean, that's just the reality of things. So more picks will be coming. I did update the 6-pack tracker right before the show. Season 2, we're up 4.41 units. Overall, Slate is up 10.48. I'm minus 0.34. So anything that you hear from me can go in one ear and out the other until I prove myself here. So
we'll just have co-pilot start giving your bets.
Just straight AI me. That's funny. What do you think our most profitable sport is gambling as of right now on the 6-pack tracker?
Tennis?
That's exactly right. Tennis 5.39. So kind of sticking to my guns, and right behind it, college football up 5 units,
It's
which
because
is probably 80% you.
it's your winners doing golf, and then or tennis, I mean, and then your losers are NFL.
My losers are NFL. I'm a bad NFL. I will say though, I did help with the Ashton Genty future we got, so hopefully
Yeah.
we can maybe. I'd love to bet Mark Gronowski Heisman. I feel like that might make it on the list, like maybe a quarter unit, just to say we did it. But
Yeah.
um, what? Let's end the show with this. What would you set the line for in a one-on-one game to 21? Win by 2 by ones and twos. Ben McCollum versus Fran McCaffrey. You just saw 41-year-old Ben McCollum play Cooper DeJean. What would you set the line for in terms of money line?
Fran might have the size. He might be able to back him down and get a couple buckets. I'll go like set the line at like minus 15 and a half.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
he was
about
clean.
right.
He looks athletic out there. He's
fast. Yeah.
He's fast. He's got hands. He's out there in his Nike basketball shoes. Like he's taking it seriously. I was just about to say I'm excited for basketball season just to watch them. I still hope they get one more guy in the portal. They're only looking at international guys right now, so we'll see. Most American kids have already committed somewhere.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun. I think they're going to be exciting. That Alvaro kid they got from Robert Morris is playing for Spain's national team. So I don't know if that's on TV or what. But
Probably not, but you can probably stream it somewhere. I think we talked about it before, but yeah, Iowa's playing in Palm Springs on like their Thanksgiving shootout. So if you don't have Thanksgiving plans, if you're not going back to Iowa, Tess and I will be hosting Thanksgiving this year and hitting up a Hawks game. So you are consider this your invite to that.
great. I'll run it by my mother.
Speaking of that, I will be visiting Slade. We're going to be doing a live show in New York City, Times Square.
Yep. I heard it actually got moved to Bryant Park, but
okay, Bryant Park. Yeah, we're trying to get the acoustics kind of up to the standard we want. But
and I might be breaking some news, but I think our friends at the Compound and Friends might let us use their studio. We'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, the weekend of the 12th of July, we'll be hitting up the Cubs game at Yankee Stadium. So very, very excited for that. Okay, I think that's all I got, man. You got any other closing thoughts?
No, I'm just thinking about football already. I love the Cubs, but in my brain, it's like they're making the playoffs. So get me to like the fall where it's October football.
Yeah,
all that.
Let's get everyone
Baseball.
Stay healthy.
Let's add and then you got the basketball season starting again that we can care about for the first time in a while. So it's like all three sports are going to be humming at the same time.
Yep, 100%.
Enjoy your summer vacation and just relax. Yeah,
just enjoy the WNBA tonight. If you're watching the NBA Finals over that, I don't know. I think you're making the wrong choice. But all right, everybody, appreciate you tuning in. Sorry we didn't have a lot of actual bets today. As we kind of get closer into the summer, we're obviously going to have NFL awards to talk about. Maybe some season over under wins. Same with college football. So more will be coming soon. So thank you for tuning in. This has been another episode of Bet GPT.